Anyone.
Anyone.
Anyone can be underrated.
Can be underrated
As fuck.
as fuck.
You are now tuning into the latest episode of the Underrated as Fuck podcast.
Hosted by the one and only Bliss.
And you already know, Mighty Zay.
Kind of crazy how life turns out, huh?
Yeah, and today just turned out to be the perfect pod for a genuine conversation of maybe just show up. If you say you're gonna do something, maybe just do it.
Just do it, dog.
It-
All you got in this world is your word. That's the only thing you really own.
Why do we always come back to the just do it?
Because it's the only way to get shit done. Like,
Oh my
it's
God.
the only way.
Hey, but guess what? We're gonna have a great conversation. Things didn't really pan out as expected, but hey, we're gonna roll that ball down the hill. It's not stopping. That momentum is just rolling and rolling. We're gonna keep it moving.
Rolling with the punches, baby.
So today is a first. We're doing a little early morning pod, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like this is a great start to the day. We're gonna have a great conversation.
Feel that.
Did you want to jump into a news topic?
We gotta start off with Jake Paul.
Okay, let's do it then. So just some extra information. We just watched the O'Malley fight last night.
Yeah, that was.
I'm really glad I was able to watch that with you.
Yeah, me too.
I know we seen it kind of ghetto on a illegal live stream on TikTok, but it's okay.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
But I'm glad I watched it with you because your fight is less than a week away at this point.
Right.
So I don't know. It was just important to me to watch that fight with you. Although I wanted to watch it regardless.
Right.
Watching it with you in like a private setting, not at like a fucking bar or
Everybody's
something.
like, yeah.
It was just cool. Like we were watching it. We were
It's
kind of
isolated energy.
we were digging into like some of the strikes or some of the moments that were happening.
Right.
Admittedly, I was falling asleep a little bit, but it's okay.
That last fight was low.
O'Malley just dominated, and it was
For
kind
5
of.
rounds straight. Like,
I guess it was the lack of suspense with O'Malley for me.
well, we had
You know
such a build up with the Dustin fight.
Yeah, that was.
And so, like, that was the co-main, and then so we went straight to the O'Malley fight. So it was like we went from like crazy, like what's gonna happen to like oh shit to oh
I think for
this guy's a
me,
punching bag.
in my opinion, the Dustin fight was probably the highlight of
Oh,
my
yeah.
night for as far as the fights go. Like, what was
For sure.
what was your like highlight?
I really enjoyed Dustin's fight.
Was that the one?
Yeah,
It was crazy because he was getting rocked,
yeah.
right?
I wouldn't say getting like rocked, but he was kind of getting a little.
Well, for me,
Well, dominated.
it looked like he was really getting controlled with the grappling and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not the professional. Mighty's the guy. If you want to ask about the fighting,
I
but
just do shit.
from an outside perspective, it seemed like what was the other dude's name? You know,
Drawing a blank. It's some crazy shit.
it's all right. The dude that was fighting Dustin yesterday,
He's a dog too, though.
he looked like he came in that fight ready. He looked like he knew what he wanted to do. He was dominant.
Stuck to his game plan.
And then in round 2, what happened in round 2?
He got caught lacking. He got caught. That's
Dude,
just it is what it is. That's what Dustin do.
Dustin reminds me a lot of how you fight. And maybe it's just as simple as just where he brings the power into his fists. Like, I don't know if it's just as simple as that or if it's deeper and it's like, whoa, you guys are very similar. Like, I don't know. But just looking at him, I see like, maybe it's just like the way you strike or... No, maybe it is just the power that you put into your punches.
We
man. I don't
generate
know.
how we're able to kind of get shit done.
It's that I always bring it up, but it's that like relationship with the ground
Right.
to the tips of your fingers, like that whole just body fluidity. I could see, like even if you guys aren't the same, I could see like from 0 out of 10, you guys are a 10 when it comes to ground relationship.
Transferring energy.
I'm a professional.
I would say so.
So yeah, that was cool.
That's hard.
I haven't watched a lot of Dustin's fights. I've seen a couple, but
He's a dog.
definitely would say he's a dog.
He's a dog.
You guys are definitely the same breed of dog. for sure.
That was cool. That was a cool way to put it.
Yeah, like not the same
That's
dog,
all.
but just different breed.
My dog will eat your dog. What's up, man?
So yeah, the O'Malley fight, was that what you expected?
I expected a little bit more, but it's just, I mean, he just grew so much and he's gotten so much experience and he's put so much training into where he's at now that his boxing was on point last night.
He looked very dominant. You know, like when a team goes to the Super Bowl and then you're like, they don't really play like a winning team.
Yeah.
Dude was playing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a championship MMA fighter.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, it was.
I mean,
just,
he is the champion at
It
this
was
moment.
clear, and you said for him that was a big fight.
Yeah, that was a big fight.
Right.
Because
Why
that was
was
his
that?
only loss.
Oh, against Vera.
Against Cheeto, yeah.
Yeah. So it was his first fight defending that belt.
And it was his first
Also,
fight
right.
defending, so he had to fight the one guy that beat him, and then he just completely dismantled him.
I like what you said yesterday about Vera. That's his
Yeah.
name.
Cheeto Vera?
Yeah, being kind of like his boogeyman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like
But now he
O'Malley,
looked under the sheets and saw nothing there. You know what I'm saying?
O'Malley is the champion, right? He has the
Right.
belt, and then now it's like, okay, you're the champion. Well, here comes the devil, and now here's your chance to really prove yourself.
Right.
Are you gonna lose that belt to somebody that beat you, the only guy that's ever beaten you,
Right.
or are you gonna show up and let the world know that you're the best?
He had a lot to prove this fight. He called out Cheeto too, like back in the day, like whenever he won the belt, he's like, yeah, like instead of Aljamain Sterling getting that instant rematch, he's like, I'm gonna fight Cheeto and shut his ass up, and that's what he did. Like,
You know what's cool about that O'Malley Vera 2 fight?
yeah,
There's a lot of similarities with the kind of just the factors that are going into that
Okay,
fight
right.
with you going into your fight coming up. In a way.
explain.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
what I mean is just like you're coming back after a loss you took a couple months ago.
Right.
And I just see you locked in. I see you as if it's a different kind of boogeyman, but I see you as if you're taking on that boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Like a metaphorical boogeyman.
Right.
It's a different fighter. But this is like your chance to like validate yourself, and I feel like you're taking it really serious.
Yeah, from here on out, I gained a very serious perspective on this fight shit, and that was what I needed to motivate me to the next level of how I train and how I work out and how I eat and how I sleep and throughout my day, and how I devote my time to this craft. So now, with that being said, that's all being pushed into 3-minute rounds.
It's like you got stabbed in the back, and then now you're fully recovered, right? And then you're like, that's never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you fucked up, and like if we're talking metaphorically,
Yeah.
like you fucked up, and now you're gonna make sure that you never fuck up again.
That's for damn sure.
So this is cool. This is so the kind of stakes. It's just
I'm killing my
in my
boogeyman.
opinion. Yeah, I feel like the stakes that O'Malley had, although he's obviously at the peak of his career,
Right.
I feel like those stakes are involved a little bit right here, and then you're able to use those stakes to your advantage, because that's just you're drawing
Using them to
fuel.
climb that mountain, baby.
You're like drawing fuel from it,
Yeah.
And, like,
I feel that.
eating off of that. Like
Right now,
You know what I'm saying?
I literally feel like I can imagine myself as like a wildebeest. Like,
when have we done a pod at 8:30 in the morning?
Never.
So clearly, there's a shift in energy and
Dynamics.
So yeah, cool. I'm excited. Looking forward to next Saturday.
Shit is gonna be a good time.
On the topic of fights, I need to get your expert fight opinion on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Just announced they're fighting on July 20th, live on Netflix.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, you can hate Jake Paul, you can like him, regardless of whatever the fuck. Like, he did something that, like, if you're a fight fan that has always looked up to Mike Tyson, and to be able to get in the ring with him is like. So I have to give Jake his flowers for that. Just to be able to put himself in a situation to fight Mike Tyson.
Are you giving him his flowers for just even making this happen?
Boom. Yeah.
Okay. So in your opinion, is this a real fight? Or is this just a show?
No, it's a show. It's a show.
So it's a money grab.
It's a money grab, but at the end of the day, like Mike Tyson, like I don't think that he knows what he's getting himself into. And I think Mike is gonna dedicate himself more to this fight than he did against Roy Jones Jr. And I think with this fight, we're gonna see a different Mike Tyson than we saw with Roy Jones. Not only because Roy Jones Jr. is also a GOAT in and of itself, and that was a great fight to watch, but this time I think is gonna be a little bit different. And so it's gonna be really cool to see how he's locked in.
Isn't it cool to think, so Mike Tyson, right, getting back in a ring, right? Isn't it cool to think that what if Jake Paul does get him a good times in the head, and then it kind of triggers Tyson of his old Tyson ways, and this full, you know what I'm saying? He starts not pulling his punches because it's a show, right?
No, I don't think you understand. I think the second
is he gonna pull his punches, Mike Tyson?
No, I think the second he starts getting wrapped up, he's just gonna.
Bro, me and you met Mike Tyson,
dude.
One of the highlights of our lives, right?
Dude.
This dude's hand, the individual muscles in his hand, were hard as rocks.
Literally as elbows.
Like if he had bricks in his hands and fingers. So I can't imagine getting in the ring with the dude. I don't think Jake Paul has bricks on his hands. No, right?
Hell no. Hell no. And he swings too wide.
So, okay, so I seen something about the contract of that fight.
Right.
So there was a couple things that stood out. So one of the things in the contract, apparently, this is just, I haven't looked at it, this is just what I heard. Apparently, it's in the contract that Jake can clap or get in Logan Paul. He could switch out with him.
What?
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No.
So apparently they were talking about it. Mike Tyson actually might knock both of them out.
Yo, that would be crazy.
So there's something that I heard.
Wait, is that set in stone, or well? I guess we're just still figuring out negotiations for the contract.
Speculation, but this was a guy that apparently read the contract, dug into the contract. So whatever Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were agreeing to, this was one of the things in there.
They're doing a Bella Twins for the WWE for this boxing shit for Mike Tyson,
So there's that, right? So another thing, which might be it's not really a surprise. Jake Paul is allowed to wear headgear, and then Mike Tyson isn't.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, headgear does help, right? It's cool. It's nice.
Does it prevent you from getting knocked out?
No.
So you can still get knocked out?
Absolutely.
So what does that extra little layer of padding prevent exactly?
It just prevents blunt force to your head. So it's not
your
as
brain.
sharp.
Your brain is still gonna get knocked around. But...
Or let's just say now you have this amount of time to kind of prepare, or reaction time to prepare for that hit, rather than straight on you. You know what I mean? It just
imagine wearing that headgear and getting a brick thrown at your face. It's still
you're gonna have a cut. You know what I mean? But that shit will still feel it.
I'm dead. So no surprise there, right?
Right.
It's kind of
Well, yeah. I mean, he's gonna do everything he can to make sure to handicap Tyson. Right. So let's just say if he does win this fight, now we have reasons why. But at the end of the day, if he actually does win this fight, all the bullshit aside, Mike Tyson's gonna look at that shit and be I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Good luck. You know what I mean? So if Jake even wins this fight in general, I'm if you stand long enough, and who knows who knows what type of Mike Tyson how his shape is in right now, or how he's really feeling, or
are you talking about his cardio, his stamina?
I'm talking about all that. Yeah, that plays a major factor whenever you want to go into fight. Whenever you take a break from it, it's hard to get that back.
Right, I get what you mean, because they're going 11 rounds.
Yeah.
Right, or 12 rounds.
Or I think
in a boxing match.
Well, I think it's 11. I think this one's 11. 11.
So they're going the distance, right? So you don't think Mike Tyson has it still?
I didn't say that. I just don't know how much effort he put into his training to make sure for this fight. Like, how serious is he taking this fight? Like, that's what I'm asking.
Right.
Like,
so the other two like things that were talked about that are apparently in the contract,
right.
is I guess Mike Tyson has to make weight, and then Jake Paul, it doesn't matter. So he could come in at 200 pounds. Apparently, that was another thing. So what do you think about the weight difference? Does that matter?
At the end of the day, no.
So still nothing crazy. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay, so then the last thing that I seen on there was that Mike Tyson has to take I guess like a drug test to make sure he's not on enhancing drugs or something. But the Jake Paul doesn't.
Find a bunch of shrooms, like in his bloodstream. I'm fucking weak.
I'm dead. But apparently
Yeah.
Jake Paul doesn't have to abide by that either. So what do you think? Wait,
White privilege.
Did you know? Did you know about any of these things?
I just knew about a couple because like we briefed over them like real fast, and then yeah, that was
So
it.
I mean, it's
all I saw was sign the contract, big boy.
big boy. So it's not
signed it,
it's
you
not
see?
a real fight, but why all these little like clauses in the contract? You know what I'm saying? If it's not a real fight.
2 words. White privilege.
I'm dead. You heard it here for the first time, exclusive.
All I'm saying is like if I were Jake right now, in my position, like if I was me in Jake's position, I would like to see what it's like to fight Mike Tyson as Mike Tyson.
So like primetime Mike Tyson, you're talking about back when he was not retired? Like actual Mike Tyson?
No, I'm talking about like if I can get my hands on you in any type, way, shape, or form, like I just want to know what you can do. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, I need to make sure that I'm, and then you're not. Like no.
So just this in general, this whole
It's
fighting Mike Tyson, this is it for him. This is like, yo, I'm getting in the ring with the legend Mike Tyson. Whatever happens, happens.
Well, no, he's doing a lot to try to secure his victory, right?
Well, yeah, he's obviously collecting some like, what is it, like things that go in his favor, right? Some things in this.
You know, one of my most favorite sayings though.
What?
Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face.
I thought you were gonna say when skill meets opportunity.
That's the other way.
So yeah. So wait, what does that mean though? So when Jake gets punched in the face,
All
by
I'm
Mike,
saying is he's never been punched by somebody that's able to punch the way that Mike Tyson is able to punch. So depending
Mike
on how
Tyson,
serious he takes his training,
he is the hardest puncher of all time.
he just knows how to transfer his energy from the ground to your face. But consistently, not just like, oh, I'm fresh, I'm good, I'm gonna do it, and then now I'm tired and now I'm not gonna do it. Like, no, that's just.
It's cool because this is why I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Not because, oh, what if Jake Paul wins or whatever. No, I'm gonna watch it to see Mike Tyson.
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't care about Jake Paul
Yeah,
or
me
Logan
neither.
Paul. I'm watching this.
I
to
like
see
Logan,
Mike
I don't
Tyson.
like Jake.
Me and Zay are gonna be sitting down watching it, just like smiling, looking at Mike Tyson in the ring again.
Wait, are we going out or are we staying in?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
For sure.
I mean, you know what I mean? Regardless, I want to watch it.
Oh, another fighting topic I wanted to talk about was my boy Francis Ngannou got knocked out by Anthony Joshua, dude. I love Anthony Joshua and I love Francis Ngannou, but I feel like if Francis Ngannou actually would have won that fight.
Was this one of the fights last night?
This was.
Oh, you're talking about the boxing fight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually seen a little highlight of the knockout, and he got his ass.
Yeah.
He
completely dominated Francis. Like, there's levels to boxing clearly, and just the way that he was in there focused, and Francis was. He bit off more than he could chew with Anthony Joshua. Like, to be completely.
It was
honest.
crazy to see because Francis is just like built like a
He's just
beast.
He's a fucking monster.
And
So
it was
is
just
Anthony
wild.
Joshua too.
It was just wild to see him get like taken out the way he did.
He's
I was
never-
just looking at this beast of a man just get.
He's never in his career been knocked out.
So this other guy, what's his name?
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Is he like?
He's a top
sick?
dog. Yeah,
He's like top dog?
He's a
Oh,
badass.
okay.
He's a fucking badass. He fought Deontay Wilder for the belt. That
Wow.
was crazy.
Well, when is he gonna fight Zay for the belt?
Shit, I see you on Tuesday,
Check
big
my
dog.
schedule.
What's up?
So that fight, was that pretty like insane? Like, what does it lead to? Is there like
So-
some big?
I think personally, like, it just sucks for Francis because if he would have came in there, I mean, it's just him losing to another elite level boxer again, and that just sucks because he wasn't able to showcase any of his skills because
And he's
Joshua-
originally an MMA fighter,
originally an MMA
right?
fighter.
And then he went to the boxing.
So pretty much what he did, he stepped away from MMA because, so let's just say his last MMA match, which he did, he only made like around 600,000, right? With this fight, this one boxing match where he got knocked out in,
Millions,
he made 20 mil
and he lost.
and he lost. So you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I mean, like, did you really lose? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, boxing is an image, and that image is: are you able to be taken down? Are you able to be defeated? Like, we have to see.
It's funny. It's like football and basketball, kind of.
Yeah.
These players on baseball, excuse me, it's like football and baseball. These players,
Basketball.
these players in baseball are making $100 million contracts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then in football, they're like they get a contract, rookie deal for like 2 to 4 million, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why is that anyway? Why does MMA not pay out the same as boxing? Is it the viewership?
Me personally, it's because boxing has been around longer, and so they have a better foundation for where money is coming from.
Is that kind of like how soccer is like worldwide?
Yeah.
Is boxing more like worldwide?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just bigger.
Right.
Okay. Makes sense.
But at the end of the day, like, for me personally, I can only watch boxing like very. If it's only like with some boxers, like boxing to me is very boring. Like, that's the only thing about boxing.
like baseball. It's boring.
Yes. But if I'm in person, I can watch it because it's just like, whoa, like, this is cool. This
So
is
you
an
have to
environment.
kind of have a interest in a fighter in order to want to watch it.
Yeah.
It can't just be some two dudes. Oh, this guy and this guy undefeated, and it's like.
I mean, I'm like, what's that about? Like, if they're both undefeated, but like at the end of the day, like, I'm not just gonna watch it just because they're undefeated. I'll check out highlights, but like for me personally, I enjoy watching MMA. Like, what can you do in the grapple? What can you do in the takedown? What can you do with elbows and clinches and all? Like, I want to see all that. I want to see everything that you have to offer to win a fight. That's what I want to see, rather than just. I mean, boxing is beautiful. It's a beautiful sport, but at the end of the day, it's like.
Isn't that what you do?
Huh.
You box, don't you?
I kickbox. Muay Thai.
Kickboxing. So that's just MMA and boxing put together?
Well, yeah, it's everything you could do in MMA,
But the
besides,
grappling?
yeah, no, you can grapple, but besides like going on the ground.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, would you ever go down that route of boxing? Just curious.
If the money's right and I get some good sponsors and shit's lining up right for me to do that, hell yeah. Just because like I don't enjoy watching it doesn't mean I wouldn't do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Shit, I would enjoy watching you box. I mean, I see you kickbox all the time. So.
Shit's fun. Yeah, last fight was a Muay Thai fight. That was the first Muay Thai fight I had.
And that's kicking Right.
Kicking, clinching, elbowing,
knees?
knees.
Ugh, those knees are nasty.
People think they are, but a lot of people don't know how to throw knees. They just move them.
It just
upwards.
looks so bad. It looks like a blade of a kneecap going into someone's chest.
Oh, that sucks. Getting hit in the sternum with a knee.
Like right there?
Oh my god. Yeah, that sucks.
Damn. So what is your like overall thoughts of that Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight?
So at the end of the day, I gotta give Jake Paul his flowers for even being able to be in a position to set something like that up. That's
Something to
pretty monumental.
praise.
That's crazy. I think that's really cool. Mike Tyson, dog, just go in there and do what you gotta do.
And he doesn't have to either.
He does.
He doesn't need the money, does
No,
he?
no.
No, right? So
So he just enjoys doing what he does.
he must really like the Paul brothers or something, right?
There must be like some type of like.
You know what it might be, and this is, I'm just throwing my opinion out there. I think maybe Mike Tyson sees what the Paul brothers are doing for boxing in general.
Yeah.
Maybe bringing more eyes to
Awareness.
it, because you know how you were saying it's boring.
Yeah.
Maybe they're making it exciting and
Exciting.
fun again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just something like that, and maybe Tyson's like, okay, I see what they're doing. I support what they're doing. I'm gonna help that. I don't know. Well, I just don't see why else he would get in the ring with Jake Paul.
I do. He's an animal.
I'm
You know what I
dead.
mean?
Another chance to just knock somebody out and get paid
And
for
get
it.
paid for it. And that's money.
Wild.
Well, they are streaming the fight free on Netflix.
And we do got Netflix.
And we do got Netflix.
Wait, so where are we gonna go watch it? The bars have Netflix or what?
We're gonna be at home.
I'm
We're gonna
dead.
be at home.
We should just throw like a little party or something.
Yeah, let's do that.
And just invite people. Wings, fries, drinks.
Bitches. No, just
Bitches. All right, so you want to jump into the next topic, or do you want to kind of go on a tangent talking about other stuff? Because there is something I wanted to bring up.
Oh, let's bring up that.
So you want to hit that topic last?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about real quick. Maybe you could help me with this, because I just want to like communicate the importance of living up to your word. Maybe.
That's
So.
yeah, shit.
So, what can you tell me? Why is it important for somebody to like do what they say they're gonna do?
Because at the end of the day, it's all we have. As from one individual to another, what I tell you is the projection that I'm bringing onto you for me to live up to, because I'm telling you what I'm gonna do, or I'm telling you what to expect. I'm communicating. I'm not telling you. I'm communicating to you what you can create in your head about me. That's the only control that I have over is my actions, right?
Right.
So whatever you think is whatever you think, but the only thing that I have control over is what I say and my actions. That's it, right? So with me being able to tell you, hey, I'm gonna keep my word and tell you I'm gonna do some shit, and then now you're depending on me to do that shit, and then all of a sudden I don't even communicate, shit's not even gonna be able to get done. Now it just leaves somebody in a lost field of like, where are you gonna go mentally with that? You know what I mean? How am I gonna think about you?
Is it like disrespectful when somebody says they're gonna do something and then they don't? Is it disrespectful or?
I would say it just depends on the situation. I feel like there's a fine line of disrespectful, and then there's not. So like depending on what's said and done, compared to who's having the conversation with who and what it's about. You know what I mean?
Right. And
But I mean, it low-key is though. It low-key is.
when the important thing for me, and you know that I've said this before, my voice has value.
Yeah.
I'm doing this podcast because I want to add value to my voice.
Right.
I want to speak with knowledge. I want to speak with just maybe my testimonies of my life. To try to just and you know what I'm saying, and it's truth. It's all truth. I don't try to like hold back anything. So I think the most important thing about kind of just doing what you say you're gonna do is reinforcing your value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
like that. Because like you just said, like all we have is our voice. All we have is our actions, right? Like the two most important things. The way we communicate and the way we show that we finish what we say we're going to finish.
Right.
So that's it. If that's all we have, then that must be what we have to offer to the world, right? And if you're not, if you're going back on your word, what kind of value?
That diminishes your character.
Yeah. So I mean, what else does? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter to everybody. Like if I fuck somebody over, one person, that's just that one person.
Right.
Right. But what is that worth? You know what I'm saying? The value of one relationship to another. What is that worth?
Well,
is that worth anything?
That would just have to reflect on you, like, how valuable do you see building relationships with other people? Like, is that even important to you? Because if it's not important, then I can see why there's no communication, there's no action, you know? there's no comprehension between, like, there's no consideration of being like, oh, okay, well, I said this to this person, and just because I told this person this, they expect me to do this, and now I want to live up to that for this person. In a way, not, but like...
It's funny because where I'm getting at too with this, like this epiphany that I'm having is like, wow, the individual relationships we have with people are, in the grand scheme of things, very insignificant. You know what I mean? Like in reality, we're just like one relationship to another. Like me and you, we built something, right? But like if we just meet somebody that, you know what I mean, or like we invite a guest onto the pod and then they screw us over, then it's kind of like, oh, well, okay. You know what I mean? Like it's so insignificant in the grand scheme of things. It's just funny that we're bringing up this topic of like doing what you say you're going to do, because it really didn't mean anything.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah.
Right.
But, you know what I mean? A word is a bond. And if you break your word, you break that bond.
Right. Hey, and stretching into kind of what this led to, what is the importance, in your opinion, of like a relationship with somebody? Like, are all relationships important, or in general, is it important to like build genuine relationships with people?
I think it's important to build genuine relationships with people because you gain perspective on life, and I feel like those perspectives that you gain on life can really propel you into what you need out of life. So if you go through life and you kill all the relationships that you have, that just shows your character of not being somebody that anybody kind of wants to be around.
This is a great question for you, because in my opinion, you like, you really value your relationships with people,
right?
And you even nourish them. Like you'll hit people up. You know what I mean? You'll go out of your way to help somebody, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
You do that too.
And that was, I mean, I'm selective though.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you're saying I just do that to everybody?
No, so you're very like out there, willing to help. It's like, okay, it's like stupid, but like, I don't give money to homeless people, but you, on the other hand, you will. And
not all the time though.
Not all the time, but you will. I won't.
Will
at all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna enable whatever the hell you're doing.
Right.
I know. Whatever. Judge me if you want. But that's what I'm saying. You're more willing to like connect with people.
Well, I just see, like, let me give you perspective on that, because the perspective that I've gained from my life experiences I've had experiences of not being able to get something done or do something because I was without. So I just know if I have, and if I can give you
I'm
a
a
little
privileged ass bitch.
bit.
I'm reading between the lines.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. No, okay, so I feel what you're saying. Like, you started from the bottom, so to speak. So somebody that's at the bottom, you can like, you have sympathy for.
I mean, I can just relate to them. So now it's just like, in a way, but like not.
You can't tell me you were standing on the corner with a sign. There's no.
Hell no. I ain't doing none of that. But I can tell which people may have fallen off a path that they haven't always been on. And those are the people I'm willing to help, rather than motherfuckers that are just willing to stand out there and just be like, oh, let me ask for money just because I know I can ask for money, and people are eventually going to give me money because I'm asking. I know how to differentiate the two of those. So, I mean,
I just feel like you care definitely a lot more for a lot of people more than I do. I won't even give someone the time of day if they're not actively showing that they're showing their value, kind of thing.
Right. No,
right. Like, that's
for
just
you,
how I am.
Yeah, like you have to bring, like how you just said it. Like for you, you've always been somebody that's just being like, what can you do? Like you like to invest. right? Like that's like your thing. You like to invest your time. You like to
My
invest
time
your
and my
word,
energy.
your energy. Boom. So like you're not gonna,
Just give that to him.
you're not just gonna throw that away. That's what I'm trying to say. For me, it's like I very much value those things too, but I feel like sometimes maybe what if my energy can rub off on somebody else and it could just spark that little bit of fucking flame that they have in their furnace to potentially get somewhere. So I mean, if I have a little bit of chance to fan that flame just a little bit, yeah, just you know what I mean, like then I'm more willing to do that. That's all. I think that's kind of cool. Like just
Zay's a good guy.
I don't know, just live life. You know what I mean? I do feel like we're all connected though. Like to be honest.
What do you mean, like on a vibrational frequency level, or
So
like,
you ever seen Osmosis Jones?
No, fill me in.
What?
Or maybe I did see it. I just not remember.
So remember whenever he ate the pill and then the pill becomes like a fucking like an active thing trying to kill the virus that's inside the body of the pill trying to actually kill, and then he meets a germ.
Dude, that sounds like a great plot to a great movie that I didn't
It
see.
is amazing. We're probably gonna watch this after this pod, as a matter of fact. But anyway,
so what are you bringing that up for? Though?
So the whole idea about that is they're living their entire world, right? Like they're inside this man's body trying to kill this virus because he's sick, and this pill goes into his body to search for this, but it everything's personified, right? So like the pill is an actual character, the germs that he has in his body, or the red blood cells and the white blood, and like and everything is a.
So this movie is from inside of somebody.
Yeah, from inside of somebody.
okay.
It's kind of like Inside Out, in a way.
Okay.
You know, like how his consciousness is personified as like
each of the feelings.
Right,
yeah.
right. So think about it like that, but in red blood
like
cells
a pill
and
and
pills.
all-
And, right. So you know what I mean. And basically, what I'm trying to get down to is they're living in their world, and they're all working as a single entity to make sure that this one thing is moving smoothly. I mean, at the end of the day, like I feel like our subconscious, I feel like maybe we all might be connected.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
That's what I feel.
I'm glad you brought that full circle because I went like so brain dead for a second. I was like,
I like to go a little
the only thing I could think about was just the inside of the body and just like Wreck-It Ralph.
He's looking like no.
Just Wreck-It Ralph in there. Like I don't know why. So
Yo,
I'm really glad you
I'm
brought that
weird.
full circle and like reminded me what you were talking about. So I get it. I get what you're saying. So
Well, yeah.
we're all in kind of like a system working together, or you said like connected.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Maybe what if all of our souls are tied together, and then all of our subconscious are tied together? Like what if that's true? Like you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I
mean,
feel
it can be. I
It
mean,
can be,
I
yeah.
bring it up sometimes, but all we see with our eyes is this light that comes through and translates into our brains. There's
Right.
things that our eyes aren't
don't
sensitive
perceive,
to.
right?
There could be a tether between us right now, and we can't see it.
There's definitely a tether. Like between us for sure. Like we've been through it too much to like. We were best friends like thousands of years ago. Like
I mean, I could definitely agree that we're on like a similar vibration. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, like frequencies and stuff. Like we definitely have like aligned.
right, feel that.
You know, in a way.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not perfectly aligned all the time, but like just for example, maybe I'm like on a 40 hertz,
Mhm.
which is a little bit bigger, and then you're on like an 80. But every here and there we are
Just
aligned.
perfectly
You know what I'm saying? So in the like amount of difference that we are,
Yeah.
two separate people, we're still on a similar every now and then.
Oh, I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm just like saying that to like
Further
reinforce.
validate.
No, well, like reinforce that we're also special and original in our own. You know,
Oh,
what
I feel that,
Kinda,
yeah,
So
yeah.
like we do align at times, but we're also like
Still our own being. Yeah.
our own being.
Yeah. So back to full circle of us being was sharing the energy, and that's like for me personally, like me giving it just kind of. If I see somebody's like light up in their eyes, like I don't know, it just
So that does something for you.
yeah, it makes me feel kind
A
of
lot.
good. It's like it's cool, like you know what I mean. But I'm not gonna sit out there and just help everybody that I see that's like asking.
I don't know what love language that is, but that's a love language. I don't know if it's like.
I'm a giver.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm a giver.
But what about when people give you something? Is that the way it works too, or not?
I don't know how to receive gifts. Like I don't. Yeah, I'm just like, yo, preach. Like, yeah, I mean, like.
Well, because you're such a giver, right? You know the value of what you give. So, like, it's hard to tell if somebody is giving to you with that same amount of value, maybe. I don't know. Like,
It's a very good perspective.
it's like getting pajamas from your grandma or something. You know what I mean? It's like...
Wait, like, where are these pajamas from? Was they from Sam's Club?
Walmart.
Oh.
Not some silky pajamas, Walmart pajamas.
Sometimes Walmart do be hitting though. So I mean, it's just the thought that counts, and I appreciate the thought that is put into. I love consideration, so if somebody's being considerate towards me even a little bit, like I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of the most considerate people of all time.
Oh God.
My communication maybe hasn't been there all the time, but from the foundation of me is definitely, I'm always making sure that the other person is
Good.
and I put a lot of energy into that. So
Yeah.
that stretches back to why I don't be given to just anybody.
Right.
Because it's when I do give,
It's a lot.
it means a lot.
Right.
And great combo.
Great comment.
And this is actually a perfect like segue into our last topic, because you know how you always tell me you're like anime gives you just this like life lessons or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna take a way turn to the left, but I'm not familiar, so we're gonna ask Zay.
Yes, sir.
I'm familiar with what he's created. I'm not familiar with the man. So I'm gonna cry. So I'm gonna let you talk about it. So what happened?
So Akira Toriyama, you know, he passed. And
So
he was
that's how you
68.
pronounce that. Okay. I didn't know how to pronounce his last name.
Akira Toriyama.
Toriyama.
Yeah,
Okay.
Toriyama. He was the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, and what that has been able to do to inspire so many people and to give them perspective on no matter what challenges you face, there's always a way for you to prevail. And the relationships that you grow with other people, at the end of the day, is just going to make you a stronger human being. And so for me, what Dragon Ball has done for me, it's given me perspective on what's valuable at a young age.
You talk about it a lot. I
Yeah,
hear
I
you
mean-
really talk about how, like, there was one time where you watched an anime and you're like, bruh. Like,
I'm like,
I just,
bruh,
like,
you-
lived a life and I'm back now and I can apply what I learned in that life and just apply it right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I swear, like it's just cool because like anime, it does a really good job of actually personifying like demons and traumas and tribulations in life that you go through, and it puts it in a scenario that it's completely visible, and then the storytelling on top of that just promotes it even further. And then you can fall so in love with the characters and then relate to them so much that you can almost see yourself in that predicament, in that situation, with that mind frame. And if you were to keep it, you're gonna come out on top. You're eventually gonna get to where you need to get to.
why does it seem like only anime serves that up? You know what I mean? Why don't I hear you talking about like other movies doing that? Here and there, we'll talk about a movie like Interstellar was crazy for me,
Right.
emotional, like relatable.
Dune 2 was
But why does it seem like most anime does that?
because that's all that they have to give. Is they have to personify a specific set of feelings and then make a story out of that.
Isn't that all content though that
I
gets
mean,
created?
no.
No?
Like Hollywood
like
is
a
Hollywood.
movie. Like when a movie's made, though, it has a story.
I mean, it has a story, but they don't know how to emotionally manifest that into the storyboard. Like they don't know how to cast the right actors for it. They see, like with anime, you don't have to cast the right actors. You know what I mean?
Do they have like the same writers and same creators through like the entire seasons?
For the most part,
I mean?
yeah.
That
for the
way,
most part.
even the creators themselves are growing as a character.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, is that something that might?
Well, that is.
And like with Hollywood, I mean, I guess we
Shit
don't
changes
we
all
don't
the time.
know, but like they just hire people. Okay, you do this, you do that. Like,
Right.
Money.
So now different perspective, different views are being thrown in, so different emotions are being confused together. You know what I mean? So for me in anime and me with Akira Toriyama, like what he's been able to do with this community is inspire so many other people on storytelling and triumph that he kind of just led the way of being like, yo, this is how to do it.
So is Dragon Ball like the epitome of anime?
It's the
Or
you have to think about it this. So at the end of the day, Dragon Ball is like the godfather of it. That's the thing.
So
that,
it's the best, or is that just kind of like what started the movement? Kind of.
I feel like that was the small snowball at the top of the hill, and then everybody else that it picked up along the way became this avalanche.
So it was like more of the thing that started the movement of like Western culture watching anime.
Yeah, it's like as a young kid watching Dragon Ball, like
because it's really popular here in the Western.
yeah, I think this was
country.
like one of the most major, like the major thing that got picked up by almost anybody and everybody at the time.
I haven't seen a lick of anime like that, but I have seen something, and not gonna lie, when I used to live in California in Anaheim, I waited every week till 9 o'clock or whenever the episodes came out.
Talking about Toonami?
No, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah.
I swear to you, I stayed up to watch the new episode every week.
So what did you gain from watching Avatar? Like, so now that you see my perspective and what I'm kind of able to describe on, like, what did you gain from Avatar?
One of the big things in Avatar is just kind of his journey on becoming the person that he needs to become.
Right.
Accepting loss.
Yeah.
Accepting defeat.
Yes.
But most importantly, accepting responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether he wants to do it or not doesn't matter. He grows into the fact that the world needs him, and he's the only one that could save it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then by the end of that Avatar, right? He just fully understands. He knows what he has to do.
Yeah.
And it's just cool. It's just a coming to, what do you call
Fruition?
it? Or like a coming to
Realization?
Yeah, it's something like that. There's like a word I'm looking for, but just he turns into a person that he has to be. It's just that life lesson of
Just do it.
oh my god. Why do we always come back to just do it?
He said, oh my god.
Dude, at some point we're gonna have to get that contract from Nike because
I'll get it.
we keep saying just do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock a motherfucker out from Nike. They're gonna be like, wait, we like him. Like, watch, Nike, keep your eyes out for me. I'm coming for you.
Oh, dude.
Need that bread. But anyway, rest in peace, Toriyama, man. You're the greatest. Everything that you've been able to do for my life has been monumental. Dragon Ball so burned into my brain. Like, you could literally ask me any fucking question about Dragon Ball, and I'll answer that shit because I've watched it
Is Dragon Ball that
so many times.
that like circle with the other little circles in there, like the eye things, or no?
No, that's Naruto.
Oh, I'm dead. Okay, I was gonna say, yo, you have those, or I don't know.
That's the Sharingan. So.
Oh. I'm a noob.
So so it's like a golden orb, and then it has multiple stars, and those are the Dragon Balls. You get all those together, you can make a wish, and that was like
Oh, okay.
that was like the ultimate goal of like Dragon Ball back in the day, was getting all the Dragon Balls together to make that wish. Like, what wish we're gonna make, you know what I mean? So other people would try to come invade Earth, and then to try to collect the Dragon Balls, and then Goku would be the protector of said making sure nobody just comes and wishes whatever they want to wish and become the ultimate manifestation of evil. You know what I mean? So he would be the protector of Earth. He would be the guardian of... He's basically Superman. Think about it that way.
I wish I knew more about it.
Yeah,
That way I can like connect the dots here, but...
Think about it this way. There is an ultimate force on Earth. He's aware of the ultimate force and the power that it could bestow upon somebody. So he's the vet. He's vetting everybody that like wants to collect that in a way. So like if you see like an evil being coming, I want to collect the Dragon Ball. Why do you want to collect the Dragon Balls? Oh, I want to be immortal. I want to destroy the universe. Good luck. Run it.
So are the Dragon Balls like the stones in Avengers?
Yeah.
Kind
Think
of.
about it like that. But
Yeah.
instead of like spread out through the universe, they're like all on one
Earth.
planet. Yeah.
Or whatever planet it
Yeah.
is?
Well, it's Earth.
That sounds like a cool like premise to a story.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. I mean, there's a lot of people don't like. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of people that don't like it predominantly because like there's a lot of fighting but that's life. Like you have to fight through life to be who you need to be to make sure that anything does come about anything, like you're able to move past it and still be true to yourself. At the end of the day, he's always been true to himself, no matter what.
Like fighting, like sticking up for yourself?
I mean, fighting in anything.
Or just
I mean,
conflict?
I mean, there's just conflict. You know what I mean? Where's the conflict coming from? It could be coming from your job. It could be coming from your lover. It could be coming from your friends. It could be coming from situations that you're dealing with. Like, what's conflict? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so how are you going to rise above that conflict, still remain the same, but still become a better person at the end of it?
Man, I'm glad we could have these conversations. I didn't really know the depth of how this podcast was going to end up, but we dug into it. We did good. I hope we brought some value to anybody that listens. Yeah.
If not, well, tune in for the next time, and maybe you just might.
Maybe we'll have some golden nuggets on the next episode. The next episode, by the way, is going to be recorded probably a day or two prior to when we normally record it because he has a fight on Saturday. So we'll be actually talking about the fight, but when the episode comes out, the next week episode, the fight will have already happened. So
Feel that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So the next episode is just going to be the last little bit of... It'll be cool because we'll be able to watch that episode in kind of like hindsight. So we'll be looking at Zay. What was he talking about? You know what I mean? Like, did he do what he said he was going to do? It'll just be cool to hear that episode with the fight had happened and then it coming out on Monday, the following Monday. So that'll be a cool little episode. And then the following week, which is after the fight, we're going to have a guest on. A good friend of mine. He's got an album coming out. We're going to go ahead and help him get the word out with that. But that episode, we're also going to talk about however Zay's fight turned out. So,
and I also feel like that guest is an underrated as fuck guest.
yes, sir. You know who you are. Everybody that listened to this episode, share it for us. Get it out there.
Amen.
All I'm trying to do with this pod is just kind of shine light on all the people that are underrated as fuck. And whenever it's just me and Zay, we just try to give some value to whoever's listening.
Right. I mean, whatever perspective you can gain from our perspective, maybe it's just cool to have access to conversations that you normally don't have conversations in your everyday to day life. Like, I feel like we're blessed to have each other to have these conversations on a daily basis almost. You know what I mean? Like, we can call each other up.
I get a lot from these conversations.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're not just having these conversations just to provide for you guys, the audience or whatever, but I feel like I get a lot. I get a lot of perspective. I get a lot of epiphanies. Like, it's cool. It definitely is nice. It's like therapy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is how we normally talk. And then so now we just put a camera in front at the end of the day.
We don't usually dig super deep into stuff, though. I think this
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, on some things we
Yeah.
do. But like on things like the news topics, it allows us to dig really deep into certain scenarios and stuff.
It kind of like adds a focal point to where we kind of have to like reach.
like a lens.
Yeah. We're the sun, this is the lens, and then y'all motherfuckers are the burn spot. So You know what I'm talking about?
I'm dead. So yeah, appreciate y'all. This has been another episode of the Underrated as Fuck podcast. Peace.
Later.